देव की जय। ॐ वन्दे देवमुमापतिं सुरगुरुं वन्दे जगत्कारणं वन्दे पन्नगभूषणं मृगधरं वन्दे पशूनां पतिं वन्दे सूर्यशशाङ्कवन्निनयनं वन्दे मुकुन्दप्रियं वन्दे भक्तजनाश्रयं च वरदं वन्दे शिवं शङ्करं शान्तं पद्मासनस्थं शशिधरमुकुतं पञ्चवक्त्रं त्रिनेत्रं शूलं वज्रं च खड्गं परशुभयदं दक्षिणाङ्गे महान्तं नागं पाशं च गन्तादमुरुकसहितं चाकुशं वामभागे नानालङ्कारयुक्तं स्फटिकमलनिभं पार्वतीशं नमामि। साम्ब सदाशिवाय नमः। ध्यानं समर्पयामि नमः। आवाहयामि नमः। आसनं समर्पयामि नमः। गंगे च यमुने चैव गोदावरी सरस्वती नर्मदा सिन्धु कावेरी जलेऽस्मिन् सन्निधिं कुरु। महास्नानं समर्पयामि नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय। ॐ अथात्मानं शिवात्मानं श्रीरुद्ररूपं ध्यायेत्। शुद्धस्फटिकसङ्काशं त्रिनेत्रं पञ्चवक्त्रकं गङ्गाधरं दशभुजं शशाङ्कां नागयज्ञोपवीतिनं नीलग्रीवं शशाङ्कां नागयज्ञोपवीतिनं व्याघ्रचर्मोत्तरीयं च वरेण्यमभयप्रदं कमण्डलवक्षसूत्राणां धारिणं शूलपाणिनं ज्वलन्तं पिङ्गलजटा शिखामद्योतधारिणं विषस्कन्धसमारूढम् उमादेहार्धधारिणम् अमृतेन प्लुतं शान्तं दिव्यभोगसमन्वितं दिग्देवतासमायुक्तं सुरासुरनमस्कृतं नित्यं च शाश्वतं शुद्धं ध्रुवमक्षरमव्ययं सर्वव्यापिनमीशानं रुद्रं वै विश्वरूपिणम् एवं ध्यात्वा द्विजः सम्यक् ततो यजनमारभेत सर्वव्यापिनमीशानं रुद्रं वै विश्वरूपिणम् एवं ध्यात्वा द्विजः सम्यक् ततो यजनमारभेत अथातो रुद्रास्नानार्चनाभिषेकविधिं व्याख्यास्यामः। आदितयेव तीर्थे स्नात्वाम् उदेत शुचिः प्रयतो ब्रह्मचारी शुक्लवासा देवाभिमुखस्थित्वा आत्मनि देवता स्थापयेत्। प्रजनने ब्रह्मा तिष्ठतु पादयोर्विष्णुस्तिष्ठतु हस्तयोर्हरस्तिष्ठतु बाहोरिन्द्रस्तिष्ठतु जठरे अग्निस्तिष्ठतु हृदये शिवस्तिष्ठतु कण्ठे वसवस्तिष्ठतु वक्रे सरस्वती तिष्ठतु नासिकयोर्वायुस्तिष्ठतु नयनयो छन्दादित्यो तिष्ठेतां कर्णयोरश्विनो तिष्ठेतां ललाटे रुद्रास्तिष्ठन्तु मूर्धि आदित्यास्तिष्ठन्तु शिरसि महादेवस्तिष्ठतु शिखायां वामदेवस्तिष्ठतु पृष्ठे पिनाकी तिष्ठतु पुरतः शूली तिष्ठतु पार्श्वयोः शिवाशङ्करो तिष्ठेतां सर्वतो वायुस्तिष्ठतु ततो बहिः सर्वतोऽग्निज्वालामालः परिवृतस्तिष्ठतु सर्वे शङ्गेषु सर्वा देवता यथास्थानं तिष्ठतु सर्वा देवता यथास्थानं तिष्ठतु सर्वा महाजनाः रक्षन्तु मां रक्षन्तु अग्निर्मे वाचस्मृतः वाग्हृदये हृदयं मयि अहममृते अमृतं ब्रह्मणि वायुर्मे प्राणे श्रितः प्राणो हृदये हृदयं मयि अहममृते अमृतं ब्रह्मणि सूर्यो मे चक्षुषि श्रितः चक्षुर्हृदये हृदयं मयि अहममृते अमृतं ब्रह्मणि चन्द्रमा मे मनसि श्रितः मनो हृदये हृदयं मयि अहममृते अमृतं ब्रह्मणि दिशो मे श्रोत्रे श्रिताः श्रोत्रगुं हृदये हृदयं मयि अहममृते अमृतं ब्रह्मणि आपो मे रेतसि श्रिताः रेतो हृदये हृदयं मयि अहममृते अमृतं ब्रह्मणि पृथिवी मे शरीरे श्रिताः शरीरगुं हृदये हृदयं मयि अहममृते अमृतं ब्रह्मणि औषधिवनस्पतयो मे लोमसु श्रिताः लोमानि हृदये हृदयं मयि अहममृते अमृतं ब्रह्मणि इन्द्रो मे बले श्रितः बलगुं हृदये हृदयं मयि अहममृते अमृतं ब्रह्मणि पर्जन्यो मे मूर्ध्नि श्रितः मूर्धा हृदये हृदयं मयि अहममृते अमृतं ब्रह्मणि ईशानो मे मन्यो श्रितः मन्युर्हृदये हृदयं मयि अहममृते अमृतं ब्रह्मणि आत्मा आत्मनि श्रितः आत्मा हृदये हृदयं मयि अहममृते अमृतं ब्रह्मणि पुनर्म आत्मा पुनरायुरागात् पुनः प्राणः पुनराकूतमागात् वैश्वानरो रश्मिभिर्वा वृद्धानः अन्तस्तिस्तः प्रमृतस्य गोपाः अस्य श्रीरुद्रस्नानार्चनाभिषेकविधिं व्याख्यास्यामः अघोरऋषिः अनुष्ठुप्छन्दः सङ्कर्षणमूर्तिस्वरूपो यो सावादित्यः परमपुरुषः स एष रुद्रो देवता नमः शिवायेति बीजं शिवतरायेति शक्तिः महादेवायेति कीलकं श्रीसाम्ब सदाशिवप्रसादसिद्ध्यर्थे जपे विनियोगः ॐ अग्निहोत्रात्मने अङ्गुष्ठाभ्यां नमः दर्शपूर्णमासात्मने तर्जनीभ्यां नमः चातुर्मास्यात्मने मध्यमाभ्यां नमः निरूढपशुबन्धात्मने अनामिकाभ्यां नमः ज्योतिष्ठोमात्मने कनिष्ठिकाभ्यां नमः सर्वकृतात्मने करतलकरपृष्ठाभ्यां नमः अग्निहोत्रात्मने हृदयाय नमः दर्शपूर्णमासात्मने शिरसे स्वाहा चातुर्मास्यात्मने शिखाये वसत् निरूढपशुबन्धात्मने कवचायहं ज्योतिष्ठोमार्पणे नेत्रत्रयाय वौषत् सर्वभूर्भुवस्वरोमिति दिग्बन्धः ध्यानं पातालनभस्थलान्तभुवन ब्रह्माण्डवाविस्फुर ज्योतिस्पातिकलिङ्गमौलिविलसत्पूर्णेन्दुवां तामृतैः अस्तोकाप्लुतमेकमीशमनिशन् रुद्रानुवाङ्काञ्चपन्न ध्याये दीप्सितसिद्धये ध्रुवपदं विप्रोभिषिञ्चे शिवं ब्रह्माण्डव्याप्तदेहभसितहिमरुच भासमाना भुजङ्गैः कण्ठे कालः कपर्दाकलतशशिकलाः छन्दकौरन्दहस्ताः प्रयक्षा रुद्राक्षमालः प्रकटितविभवां शाम्भवां मूर्तिभेदां रुद्राशीरुद्रसूक्तप्रकटितविभवां नः प्रयच्छन्तु सौख्यम् ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमस्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः सुन्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनं महागणपतये नमः शं च मे मयश्च मे प्रियं च मेऽनुकामश्च मे कामश्च मे सोमनसश्च मे भद्रं च मे श्रेयश्च मे वस्यश्च मे यशश्च मे भगश्च मे द्रविणं च मे यन्ता च मे धर्ता च मे क्षेमश्च मे धृतिश्च मे विश्वं च मे महश्च मे संविच्च मे ज्ञात्रं च मे सूश्च मे प्रसूश्च मे सीरं च मे लयश्च मरुतं च मे मृतं च मे यक्ष्मं च मे नामयच्च मे जीवातुश्च मे दीर्घायुत्वं च मे मित्रं च मे भयं च मे सुगं च मे शयनं च मे सुषा च मे सुदिनं च मे ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यव उतोत इषवे नमः नमस्ते अस्तु धन्वने बाहुभ्यां ते नमः यात इषुः शिवतमा शिवं बभूवते धनुः शिवा शरव्या यातवतया नो रुद्रमृदया या ते रुद्रशिवा तनोर्घोरा पापकाशिनी तया नस्तनुवासन्तमया गिरिशन्ताभिजाकशीः या विशुं गिरिशन्तहस्ते बिभर्षस्तवे शिवां गिरित्रतां कुरु माहि वंशीः पुरुषं जगतां शिवेन वचसा त्वा गिरिशाच्चावदामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदयक्ष्मगुं सुमना असताम् अध्यवोचदधिवक्तां प्रथमो देव्योऽभिषक् अहीगश्च सर्वान् चम्पयन् सर्वाश्च यातु धान्यः असौ यस्ताम्रो अरुण उत बभ्रुः सुमङ्गलः ये चेमागुं रुद्रा अभितो दिक्षु श्रुताः सहस्रशो वैशागुं हेडईमहे असौ यो वसर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः उतैनं गोपा अदृशन्नदृशन्नुदहार्यः उतैनं विश्वाभूतानि तदृष्टो मृदयातिनः नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मीढुषे अथो ये अस्य सत्त्वानोऽहं तेभ्यो करन्नमः प्रमुञ्च धन्वनश्वमुभयोरार्थिनियोर्जां याश्च ते हस्त इषवः पराता भगवो वपम् अवतत्य धनुस्तगुं सहस्राक्षशते शुधे निशीलशल्यानामुखा शिवो नः सुमना भव विजं धनुः कपर्दिनो विशल्यो बाणवागुम् उत अनेशन्नस्येषवम् आभुरस्य निशङ्गतिः या ते हेतिर्निधुष्टम हस्ते बभूव ते धनुः तया स्वान् विश्वतस्त्वमयक्ष्मया परिभुजम् नमस्ते अस्त्वायुधाय नातताय धृष्णवे उभाभ्यामुत ते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव धन्वने परिते धन्वनो हेतिरस्मान् विनक्तु परिविश्वतः अथो यः इषुधिस्तवारे अस्मन्निधेहितं शम्भवे नमः नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकालग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः नमो हिरण्यवाहवे सेनान्ये दिशां च पतये नमो नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यः पशूनां पतये नमो नमः सस्पिञ्जराय कृषीमते पथीनां पतये नमो नमो बभ्रुषाय विव्याधिनेन्नानां पतये नमो नमो हरिकेशायोपवीतिने पुष्टानां पतये नमो नमो भवस्य हेत्यै जगतां पतये नमो नमो रुद्राय तथा विनेक्षेत्राणां पतये नमो नमः सूताय हन्त्याय वनानां पतये नमो नमो रोहिताय स्थपतये वृक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो मन्त्रिणे वाणिजाय कक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो भुवन्तये वारेवस्कृतायोषधीनां पतये नमो नमः उच्चैर्घोषाय वृन्दयते पत्तीनां पतये नमो नमः कृत्स्नगीताय धावते सत्त्वनां पतये नमः नमः सहमानाय निव्याधिन आव्याधिनीनां पतये नमो नमः कुकुभाय निशङ्किने स्तेनानां पतये नमो नमो निशङ्किन इषुधिमते तस्कराणां पतये नमो नमो वञ्चते परिवञ्चते स्थायूनां पतये नमो नमो निचेरवे परिचरायारण्यानां पतये नमो नमः श्रिकाविभ्यो जिघ्घागुं सभ्यो मुष्णतां पतये नमो नमो श्रीमद्भ्यो नक्तञ्चरभ्यः प्रकृन्तानां पतये नमो नमः उष्णीशने गिरिचराय कुलुञ्चानां पतये नमो नमः विषमद्भ्यो धन्वाविभ्यश्च वो नमो नम आतन्वानेभ्यः प्रतिदधानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आयच्छद्भ्यो विसृजद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमो सद्भ्यो विद्यद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आसीनेभ्यश्च यानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः स्वपद्भ्यो जाग्रभ्यश्च वो नमो नमस्तिष्ठद्भ्यो धावद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सभाभ्यः सभापतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो अश्वेभ्यो अश्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नम आव्याधिनीभ्यो विविध्यन्तीभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः उगणाभ्यस्त्रगुम्हतीभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गृत्सेभ्यो गृत्सपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो व्रातेभ्यो व्रातपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गणेभ्यो गणपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो विरूपेभ्यो विश्वरूपेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो महद्भ्यः क्षुल्लकेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथेभ्यो रथेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथेभ्यो रथपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सेनाभ्यः सेनानिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः शत्रुभ्यः सङ्गृहीतृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमस्तक्षद्भ्यो तत्कारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कुलालेभ्यः कर्मारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः पुञ्जिष्टेभ्यो निषादेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः शुकृभ्यो धन्वकृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो मृगयुभ्यः स्वनिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः स्वभ्यः स्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमो भवाय च रुद्राय च नमः सर्वाय च पशुपतये च नमो नीलग्रीवाय च शितिकण्ठाय च नमः कपर्दिने च व्युप्तकेशाय च नमः सहस्राक्षाय च शतधन्वने च नमो गिरिशाय च शिपिविष्टाय च नमो मीढुष्टमाय चेषुमते च नमो ह्रस्वाय च वामनाय च नमो बृहते च वर्षीयसे च नमो वृद्धाय च संवृध्वने च नमो अग्र्याय च प्रथमाय च नमः आशवे चाजिराय च नमः शीघ्रियाय च शीभ्याय च नमः ऊर्म्याय च चावसान्याय च नमः स्रोतस्याय च दीप्याय च नमो ज्येष्ठाय च कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय चापरजाय च नमो मध्यमाय चापगल्भाय च नमो जघन्याय च बुद्ध्याय च नमः सोभ्याय च प्रतिसर्याय च नमो याम्याय च क्षेम्याय च नमः उर्वव्याय च खल्याय च नमः श्लोक्याय च अवसान्याय च नमो वन्याय च कक्षाय च नमः श्रवाय च प्रतिस्रवाय च नमः आशेनाय चासुरथाय च नमः शूराय चावभिन्दते च नमो वर्मिने च वरुथिने च नमो बिल्मिने च कवचने च नमः श्रुताय च श्रुतसेनाय च नमो दन्दुभ्याय च हनन्याय च नमो धृष्णवे च प्रमृषाय च नमो दूताय च प्रहिताय च नमो निषङ्गिने चेषुधिमते च नमस्तीक्ष्णे शवे चायुधिने च नमः स्वायुधाय च सुधन्वने च नमः श्रुत्याय च पथ्याय च नमः काट्याय च नेप्याय च नमः सूद्याय च सरस्याय च नमो नाद्याय च वैसन्ताय च नमः कूप्याय चावत्याय च नमो वर्षाय चावर्ष्याय च नमो मेघ्याय च विद्युत्याय च नमः ईध्रियाय चातप्याय च नमो वात्याय च रेश्मियाय च नमो वासव्याय च वास्तुपाय च नमः सोमाय च रुद्राय च नमस्ताम्राय चारुणाय च नमः संगाय च पशुपतये च नमः उग्राय च भीमाय च नमो अग्रे वधाय दूरे वधाय च नमो हन्त्रे च हनीयसे च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्ताराय नमः शम्भवे च मयो भवे च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च नमस्तीर्थ्याय च कूल्याय च नमः पार्याय च वार्याय च नमः प्रतरणाय चोतरणाय च नमः आतार्याय च लाद्याय च नमः शष्प्याय च फेन्याय च नमः सिकत्याय च प्रवाह्याय च नमः हिरण्याय च पपथ्याय च नमः किगुंशिलाय च क्षयनाय च नमः कपर्दिने च पुलस्तये च नमो गोष्ठ्याय च गृह्याय च नमस्तल्प्याय च गेह्याय च नमः काट्याय च गह्वरेष्ठाय च नमो हृदयाय च निवेश्याय च नमः पागुंसव्याय च रजस्याय च नमः शुष्क्याय च हरित्याय च नमो लोप्याय चोलप्याय च नमः उव्याय च सोम्याय च नमः पर्ण्याय च पर्णशद्याय च नमोपगुर्माणाय चाभिघ्नते च नमः आखिदते च प्रखिदते च नमो वः किरिकेभ्यो देवानागुं हृदयेभ्यो नमो विक्षीणकेभ्यो नमो विचिन्वत्केभ्यो नमः आनिर्हतेभ्यो नमः आमीवत्केभ्यः द्रापे अन्धसस्पते दरिद्रन्नीललोहित येषां पुरुषाणां येषां पशूनामाभेर्मा रोमो येषां किञ्चनाममत् या ते रुद्रशिवा तनुः शिवा विश्वाः भेषजी शिवा रुद्रस्य भेषजी तया नो मृडजीवसे इमागुं रुद्राय तवसे कपर्दिने क्षयद्वीराय प्रभरामहे मतिं यथा न समसद्विपदे चतुष्पदे विश्वं पुष्टं ग्रामे अस्मिन्ननातुरं गदानो रुद्रोत नो मयस्कृधी क्षयद्वीराय नमसा विधेमते यच्छञ्च योश्च मनुराय जय पिता ततस्याम तव रुद्रप्रणीतो मानो महान्तमुतमानो अर्भकं मान उक्षन्तमुतमान उक्षितं मानो वधि पितरं मोत मातरं प्रियामानस्तनुवो रुद्ररीशः मानस्तोके तनये मान आयषि मानो गोषो मानो अश्वेषुरीरिषः वीरान् मानो रुद्रभामितो बधिरविश्वन्तो नमसा विधेमते आराते गोघ्न उत पूरुषग्धे क्षयद्वीराय सुम्नमस्मेते अस्तु रक्षा च नो अधि च देव ब्रूह्यधा च न शर्म यच्च दिबर्हाः स्तुहि श्रुतं गर्तसदं युवानं मृगन्न भीममुपहत्नुमुग्रम् मृडाचरित्रे रुद्रस्तवानो अन्यन्ते अस्मिन्निव पन्तु सेनाः परिणो रुद्रस्य हेतेर्विनक्तु परित्वेषस्य धुर्मतिरघायोः अवस्थिरामगवभ्यस्तनुष्वमीध्वस्तोकाय तनयाय नमः मृडयं मीधुष्टमशिवतमा शिवो नः सुमना भवं परमे वृक्ष आयुधन्निधाय कृत्तिं वसान आचरपिनाकं बिभ्रदागहि विकिरिदविलोहित नमस्ते अस्तु भगवः यास्ते सहस्रगुं हेतयोन्यमस्मिन्निव पन्तु ताः सहस्राणि सहस्रधा बाहुवो स्तव हेतयः तासामीशानो भगवः पराचीना मुखाकृधि सहस्राणि सहस्रशो ये रुद्रा अधिभूम्यां तेषागुं सहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्वसि अस्मिन् महत्यर्णवे एन्तरिक्षे भवा अधि नीलग्रीवाशितिकण्ठाः सर्वा अधः क्षमाचराः नीलग्रीवाशितिकण्ठादिवगुं रुद्रा उपसृताः ये वृक्षेषु सस्पिञ्जरा नीलग्रीवा विलोहिताः ये भूतानामधिपतयो विशिखासः कपर्दिनः ये अन्येषु विविध्यन्ति पात्रेषु पिबतो जनान् ये पथाम्पतिरक्षय ऐलभृधा यव्युधः ये तीर्थानि प्रचरन्ति श्रिकावन्तो निषङ्गिनः येतावन्तश्च भूयागुंसश्च दिशो रुद्रापितस्थिरे तेषागुं सहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्वसि नमो रुद्रेभ्यो ये पृथिव्यां ये एन्तरिक्षे भवा अधि इवे एन्तरिक्षे ये दिवि येषामन्नं वातो वर्षमिषवस्तेभ्यो दश प्राचीर्दश दक्षिणा दश प्रतीचीर्दशोदीचीर्दशोर्ध्वास्तेभ्यो नमस्ते नो मृदयन्तु तेऽयं दुष्मो यश्चन्नो द्वेष्टिं तं वोजम्भे ददामि त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धना मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् यो रुद्रो अग्नो ये अप्सूय औषधीशो यो रुद्रो विश्वभुवना विवेश तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु तमुष्टु हि यस्विषु सुधन्वा वो विश्वस्य क्षयति भेषजस्य यक्ष्वा आमहे सो ओ मनसाय रुद्रं नमो ओ भेर्देवमयि सुरसदुर्वस्यहम् अयं मे हस्तो भगवान् अयं मे भगवत्तरः अयं मे विश्वभेषजो यगं शिवाभिमर्शनः ये ते सहस्रमयुतं पाशा मृत्युं च हन्तवे तान् यज्ञस्य मायया सर्वानवः यजामहे मृत्यवे स्वाहा मृत्यवे स्वाहा ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय विष्णवे मृत्युर्मे पाहि प्राणानां ग्रन्थिरसि रुद्रो मा विशान्तकः तेनान्येनाप्यायस्वं नमो रुद्राय विष्णवे मृत्युर्मे पाहि सदाशिवों ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ।
प्रणमामि सदा सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं 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 तुम्हें हो सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं तुम्हें हो हे शिव हमारा उद्धार करना हे वंदना हे स्वयं हमारी हे वंदना हे स्वयं हमारी हे नाथ इनको स्वीकार करना सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं रची है तुमने ये सारी सृष्टि रची है तुमने ये सारी सृष्टि तुम्ही ने दी है हम सबको दृष्टि इतनी कृपा और कर दो प्रभु जी इतनी कृपा और कर दो प्रभु जी हम देख पाए हर कर्म अपना सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं तुम्हें हो हे शिव हमारा उद्धार करना सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं देवों को तुमने अमृत दिया का देवों को तुमने अमृत दिया का विषपान हंस के खुद कर लिया था विषपान हंस के खुद कर लिया था हर हित की ऐसी ही भावना को हर हित की ऐसी ही भावना को प्रभु हमारे ही मन में भरना सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं तुम्हें हो हे शिव हमारा उद्धार करना सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं 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 सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं
बोले उमापति महादेव की जय। शिवजी चालीसा। जय गणेश गिरिजा सुवन मंगल करो सुजा मंगल मूल सुजा कहत अयोध्या दास तुम देहूं अभय वरदान। जय गिरिजापति दीन दयाला सदा करत संतन प्रतिपाला। भाल चंद्रमा सोहत नीके कानन कुंदल नाग बनी। अंग गौर सिर गंग बहाए मुंद माल तन चार लगाए। वस्त्र खाल बाघंबर सोहे छवि को देख नाग मुनि मोहे। मैना मातु की हवे दुलारी वाम अंग सोहत छवि न्यारी। कर त्रिशूल सोहत छवि भारी करत सदा शत्रुन छयकारी। नंदी गणेश सोहे तह कैसे सागर माध्य कमल है जैसे। कार्तिक श्याम और गणराहु या छवि को कहीं जात न काहू। जब ही जाय पुकारा तब ही दुख प्रभु आप निवारा। किया उपद्रव तारक भारी देवन सब मिल तुम ही जुहारी। तुरत शदानन आप पधायो लवनिमेष महा मारि गिरायो। आप जलंधर असुर संहारा सुयश तुम्हार विदित संसारा। त्रिपुरासुर संयुद्ध मचाई सब ही कृपा कर लीन बचाई। किया तपहि भागीरथ भारी पूर्व प्रतिज्ञा तास पुरारी। दान नमः तुम सम को नाई सेवक स्तुति करत सदाई। वेद नाम महिमा तब गाई अकत अनादि भेद नहीं पाई। प्रगति उदधि मंथन में ज्वाला जरे सुरासुर भय बिहाला। कीन दया तह करहि सहाई नीलकंठ तब नाम कहाई। पूजन रामचंद्र जब कीन्हा जीत के लंका विभीषण दीन्हा। सहस कमल में हो रहे धारी कीन्ह परीक्षा तब ही पुरारी। एक कमल प्रभु राखे उजोरी कमल नयन पूरन जह सोई। कतिन भक्ति देखी प्रभु शंकर भये प्रसन्न दिए चितवर। जय 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 अनंत अविनाशी करत कृपा सबके घटवासी। दुष्ट सकल नित मोहि सतावे भ्रमत रहे मोहि चैन नावे। त्राहि नाथ यही अवसर मोहियान उबारो। लय त्रिशूल शत्रुन को मारो संकट से मोहियान कोई, संकट में पूछत नहीं कोई। स्वामी एक है आस तुम्हारी, आये हरहु अब संकट भारी। धन निर्धन को देत सदा ही, जो कोई जाचे वो फल पाई। स्तुति के ही विधि करहु तुम्हारी, क्षमहु नाथ अब चूक हमारी। शंकर हो संकट के नाशन, मंगल कारण विघ्न विनाशन। योगी यति मुनि ध्यान लगावे, नारद सारद शीश। नमो नमो जय नमो शिवाय, सुर ब्रह्मादिक पार न पाया। जो यह बात करे मन लाई, तापर होत है शंभु सहाई। ऋनिया जो कोई हो अधिकारी, पाप कहे सो पावन हारी। पुत्रहीन इच्छा कर कोई, निश्चय शिव प्रसाद तेहि। पंडित त्रयोदशी को लावे, ध्यान पूर्वक होम करावे। त्रयोदशी व्रत करे हमेशा, तन नहीं ताके रहे कलेशा। धूप दीप नैवेद्य चढ़ावे, शंकर सन्मुख पाठ सुनावे। जन्म जन्म के पाप नसावे, अंतवास शिवपुर में आवे। कहे अयोध्या आस तुम्हारी, जानी सकल दुख हरहु हमारी। ओम नमः शिवाय, 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 ओम नमः। नित्य नेम कर पाते हैं, पात करो 40। तुम मेरे मनोकामना पूर्ण कीन कल्याण। बोलो उमापति महादेव की जय। नमामि शमीशान, निर्वाण रूपम। विभुं व्यापकं ब्रह्मवेद स्वरूपं। विभुं व्यापकं ब्रह्मवेद स्वरूपं। नमामि शमीशान निर्वाण रूपं। विभुं व्यापकं ब्रह्मवेद स्वरूपं। विभुं व्यापकं ब्रह्मवेद स्वरूपं। निजं निर्गुणं निर्विकल्पं निरीहं। चिदाकाशवाकाशवासं भजेऽहं। चिदाकाशवाकाशवासं निराकार मोकार मूलं तुरीयं। गिरा ज्ञान गोतीतमीशं गिरीशं। करालं महाकाल कालं कृपालं। गुनागार संसार पारं नतोऽहं। गुनागार संसार पारं। ओ तुषारादृशं काशगौरं गभीरं मनोभूतकोटि प्रभाश्री शरीरं सुरन्मौलिकल्लोलिनी चारुगङ्गा लसद्भाल भाले कंठे भुजंगा चलत कुंडलं भ्रूसुनेत्रं विशालं प्रसन्नाननं नीलकण्ठं दयालम् मृगाधीश चर्माम्बरं मुन्दमालं प्रियं शङ्करं सर्वनाथं भजामि प्रियं शङ्करं सर्वनाथं भजामि प्रचण्डं प्रक्लिष्टं प्रगल्भं परेशम् अकन्धं मजं भानुकोटिप्रकाशं त्रयाशूलनिर्मूलनं शूलपाणिं भजेऽहं भवानीं पतिं भावगम्यं भजेऽहं भवानीं पतिं भावगम्यं कलातीत कल्याण कल्पान्तकारी सदा सज्जनानन्ददाता पुरारी चिदानन्द सन्दोह मोहपहारी प्रसीद प्रसीद प्रभु मन्मथारी नयावद उमानाथ पारादबिन्दं भजन्ति हलोके परे वानरानं भजन्ति हलोके परे ओ न तावत् सुखं शान्ति संतापनाशं प्रसीद प्रभो सर्वभूतादिवासं प्रसीद प्रभो सर्वभूतादिवासं न जानामि योगं जपं नैव पूजां न तोऽहं सदा सर्वदा सम्भुतोऽभ्यं जरा जन्म दुःखोऽज्ञतातप्यमानं प्रभु पाहि आपन्नमामीश शम्भो प्रभु पाहि आपन्नमामीश शम्भो ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 बोले उमापति महादेव की जय न जानामि योगं जपं नैव पूजां न तोऽहं सदा सर्वदा सम्भूतोऽभ्यम्. The very things that take us to Bhagwan Shiv, the very things that allow us to become one with the Lord, are the things sometimes we think we have mastery over, but in reality, we have not touched, or we cannot equal to a speck of what is required. This beautiful verse. Na janami yogam japam naiva pujam. How do you become one with Shiva? He's called Yogeshwar, the Lord of yoga, the Lord of uniting, bringing together you with consciousness, bliss, and all that. Na janami yogam, but no matter how much of mastery we have over yoga, over the 84 asanas in, classical hatha yoga, or if we know about the nadis and the chakras and all that, and how we make the connection, it is never enough Because Parvati Ma, even though she performed severe tapasya after their marriage to learn about the ways of Shiva, she still could not do so. She became a student of the Lord. Najanami yogam japam naeva pujam. What else do we do to become one with Shiva? Japam naeva pujam. We do the Mahamantra, Japam, Om Namah Shivaya, or Om Trambakam Yajamahe. These are simple tools. When I say tools, we cannot be offended, because tools, think of tools of a toolbox. Or let's say if you like sewing, you have a sewing kit, right? You like to sew, you like to put pieces together. However you sew, you knit, or whatever it is you do. I think sewing and knitting are different things, but that's a whole. Anyway, if you have a sewing kit, you have your needle, you have your thread, and different colors of thread, you have your scissors, and the whole works. If you are missing one thing in that sewing kit, they are called tools. Your thread is a tool, your needle is a tool, some of them are materials. So what happens? If you miss a single tool in that whole process, what happens? Your work either becomes difficult, you may be able to complete it, right? It will be difficult, or you may not be able to complete it if you miss a tool. But when you have all the tools together, then what happens? You're able to put pieces of cloth together and so on. Similarly, if you're an electrician or a mechanic, you have all your tools. Imagine if you have to go, put in a screw into a wall with your fingernail, what will happen? Right? At the end of it, your fingers will be, all in blood, your nails will be damaged. But when you have a screwdriver, you take it and you put it in nicely. What happens afterwards? You end up worshiping that tool. You end up being in love with that tool. You ask any one of the tradespeople how much they care for their tool. When they finish, they clean up all the mess and everything, but boy, they take their time and clean up their tools. Nice. Because that is their tool. That is how they worship their tool, by keeping it nice, clean, tidy, because that is the source of their living. That makes their work very easy, or, very doable. Similarly, we take care of our tool in the religious context. A tool is like Om Namah Shivaya. You care for it, right? You use it at the right time, the right way. You use it nicely. You use it when you're supposed to use it. Like sometimes you take a screwdriver and you make a chisel out of it, but it ends up being damaged, and so on. But what happens? Sometimes you take a pliers and try to use it as a screwdriver. It may work, but not effectively. Om Namah Shivaya. So yoga is a tool. Japam is a tool. When you use Japam, Om Namah Shivaya, it is a sound energy. And Japam Neva Pujam. Prabhu, I use another tool to get to you. This tool is called Puja. Many masters of the world today and people who do not like to do these things will tell you that Puja, don't worry about all that stuff, that all you need to do is close your eyes and the Lord knows what is in your heart and in your mind and so on. We've talked about this. But please remember, the greatest philosopher who has ever walked on this earth, his name is Adi Shankaracharya. His name is Adi Shankaracharya, the greatest philosopher who has ever walked on this earth. He died very young. He didn't die. He gave up his body very young. Philosophy means one who goes within. Philosophy means there is a rule of life where all external things mean nothing now, and you go internal to find that connection. Adi Shankaracharya was a philosopher. But please understand, before we can go internal to something that is unseen and worship God with the mind, you have to master the puja. You have to master the physical aspect of it. And that is why Adi Shankaracharya, as a great philosopher, he has established a lot of physical processes. If you go any one of the mat, the Ramakrishna mat right now, like Ramakrishna mat or Sringeri mat or Dwarka Puri and so on in India, you will see that the the Shankaracharyas there. They have 4 Shankaracharyas right now. You will see every morning their sadhana, detailed Shivji Linga Puja. A little lingam like this, they have a whole bowl of honey. These are men who don't even speak in English. To understand them, you have to speak Sanskrit, not read. Speak Sanskrit. Don't even talk to them if you speak Hindi. They won't even look at you. Their education, their depth of knowledge is so much. Philosophy, but they don't give katha, and they're about philosophy. But they know the importance of puja. Najanami yogam japam naiva pujam. They know the importance of puja. You have to see the details. How they throw the honey, how they throw the milk, how they throw the yogurt. Everybody today has a smartphone. You can subscribe to all these things on your social media, on YouTube. And they will send you new videos to see how beautiful they do it. These things enhance your devotion. When you see that now, you feel so much closer. You want to do it. And trust me, when you do it, that connection, you don't want to leave your God. You don't want to leave that physical. After that now, there comes a time in your life where you have done so much of puja. So much of puja that you take a part called vanprashta. Vanprash means you have really let go of the materials and you're going inside now. All the things you were doing outside, offering the banana, offering the honey, offering everything else, you have left all of that now because you're going to a higher state. Then you go inside now and you close your eyes. And what do? Atma tvam girija ratne kalpitamasanam himajale snanam cha divyambaram nana ratna vibhushitam mrigamada modankitam chandanam jati champak bilva patra rachitam pushpam cha dhupam tatha deepam devadaya nidhe pashupate hritkalpitam grihyatam. Anybody know what that is? Obviously you know. You know what that is?
The word?
No, what's it called?
Manas Puja.
You know that, Oma? Okay. That's called the Shivji Manas Puja. Shivji Manas Puja. Ratnaya Kalapitamasinam. Every Shravan month, that's the first katha I give. First day, first katha. Shiva Manas Puja. When you get to a state in life where you have offered hundreds and thousands of honey and bottles of Ganga Jal and Prasad and everything now, and what happened? You become in a state that it's difficult physically to go and to acquire these things. I'm not saying you're old, but you want to focus a little bit more on the Lord inside. What do? You turn to Manas Puja. From the physical, from Shariram, you turn to Manas. So what you do? Ratne kalapitamasanim himajale. You imagine, you close your eyes and you imagine that you're throwing the water. Ratne kalapitamasanam himajale snanam cha divyambaram. You close your eyes like this and you imagine that you're bathing the Lord. You're bathing the Lord. He's in front of you, you're bathing Him. Snanam cha divyambaram nana ratna vibhushitam mrigamada modankitam chandanam. You imagine that the Lord is cladded in mrigamada, in the deer skin. And you are applying modankitam chandanam. You're applying chandan on the Lord. All in your mind. You don't have a single leaf. You don't have anything. You're just sitting like this and you're offering from your mind. Jati champaka bilva patra rachitam pushpam chadupam tatha. You're closing your eyes. You don't have a bil patra, but yet you're offering a bil patra to the Lord. You close your eyes, you don't have a flower, but yet you're offering a flower to the Lord. Dhupam cha deepam. You close your eyes, you don't have any agabati, any diya, and you're offering that to the Lord. How is that even possible? So what the technique is, if you have never done it before, if I tell you to close your eyes and bathe Lord Shiva with a whole, or offer Lord Shiva modak and offer bilvapatram bhasma to the Lord, you'll be lost because you've never done that before. You've never done it before. There was one Sri Vidya Guru in India. He is actually my, my para guru. He is the grand guru of my guru. So my guru, my grand guru. When he go on the Singhasana to sit down, he sits down like this and he closes his eyes. And in 5 minutes, he is finished with the whole Sri Chakra Puja. 5 minutes. I take probably 6.5 hours to do a full Navarna Puja for Lalita Devi. But 6, if you do it the whole start to finish. 6.5. He's done in 5 minutes. He closes his eyes like this. And because he has been doing this from 9 years old, and he was 80 something. So imagine a man is practicing every single day. He goes through this 6 hours, every single day without fail. Sri Vidya means without fail. So imagine if you're 80 years old, you sit down and it just runs through your mind like this right away. Because he has done it so many times. This is called Manas Puja. But don't even try to do Manas Puja if you haven't mastered the physical puja. When anyone tell you all those things are not necessary, banana and things are necessary, orange not necessary, it's all necessary. I bring my prasad, Sita brings prasad and I offer it every Monday because there's a purpose behind it. There's a purpose of throwing a cane juice. There's a purpose of throwing the honey. So that one day when you sit in your bed, you can't move. And the Pandit says, just close your eyes and pray. You know what that means? It means you have done it so many times. I cannot move. I'm in a retirement home. I can't get flower. I can't get bilpatra. But I want to pray to my Lord. So what you do, you close the eyes and you snap right into it. You snap right into it. There are times when we sit in meditation, people sit down and they smile like this. And sometimes they smile and they're enjoying their closed eyes. If they close their eyes and they're in one state, and something may be wrong, they're in a different state. But if they're smiling, enjoying their bath with the Lord, know that something is happening there. Manas Puja. But what happens? The Rudrashtakam says, Najanami yogam japam naeva pujam. If you have mastered every step of offering to the Lord, consider it a speck of knowledge that you're supposed to know, a speck like a dust that you're supposed to know in order to master his ways, Shiva Tattva. So what is this all summarized to, friends? It's summarized to a few things. That each day we are striving for perfection. Perfection takes many births, not many years, many births. We don't know if this is the first human birth we have, but what we know for sure is that we have this birth. And what if we know we have the birth? We have to do everything possible to make sure that we live a full-fledged life. Otherwise, we are no different than the grasshopper. We are no different than the earthworm. We are no different from, because they eat and sleep and procreate, and that's all we're doing. If that's the case, do we need this big, intelligent, powerful body to do that? We just need to be an earthworm. And then we'll do everything, live in the earth and everything. So, the message this evening is strive every day to become better than you were yesterday. And when we strive every day to become better than we were yesterday, in a religious sense and in a spiritual sense, I'm not here to advise you on money and job and things. You know what you have to do. But strive every day to be a better person than you were yesterday in the eyes of the Lord. Navratri is coming up on Friday. It is the most joyful time of the year when festivals come. Every day is joyful for me, but when the festivals come, I'm already preparing, thinking ahead. And I would like all of you to be part of this process. This is called Ram Navratri. Ram Navratri means, Ram Katha is read, But Ramji Bhagavan observed sadhana on this Navratri. That will be the very first katha we're going to read on Friday. This Navratri, we are mostly reading Ramayana, and also we'll do a little Devi Bhagavad, because you have to have a nice little blend. So this is Ram Navratri. Ramji Bhagavan performed tapasya to the Divine Mother. And I would like all of you to do something beautiful. I would like you to first of all come out to the temple. Come out to the temple, participate in each activity. Witness the mother taking a bath early afternoon. Witness her taking a bath, because witnessing that bath gives you an internal bath as well. You feel fresh when you see it. Now, when you see an open landscape so beautiful, you feel that you're free, right? What you see influences you. When you see the bright sunshine, it influences you. When you see the snowfall, it influences you. When you see the clouds are there, it influences you. Similarly, when you see her taking a bath, there's a different feeling. The energies of the murtis, by the way, they rise at the time of snanam. Witness her bathing ceremony. Be a part of her darshan when she opens her eyes, when we remove the blocking. Let her see you. Let her fiery eyes burn away your impurities. Come out of the house. Leave YouTube and Facebook a little bit and come out of the house to the temple. Whoever can. We have the restrictions lifted. We're here. Come on out and be part of the process. Be involved. Be involved when you're here. Chant something. Sing something. Right? Hum something along. And then leave with darshan. This Friday, Navratri starts. I hope all of you will be here. I want to do something very unique this Navratri. There is a special thing in the Tantra Shakti. We're doing different things every year. Something special in the Tantra Shakti where the devotees during Ram Navratri, they tie a thread on her Trishul. We don't have a Devi Trishul in this temple. We'll probably get one in the future. But we have a Shivji Trishul, very special, customized, made for our temple. And as devotees come, they tie a Raksha cord on the Trishul. They tie it on the Trishul itself, in front of the Devi. And that you can do it at the first day of Navratri, or whichever day you come. But on the last day of Navratri, you take off the thread and we tie it on your hands. It's very beautiful, very meaningful. And you take what we call a sankalp. Because prayer is not only about begging. Praying is about making a resolution. As you tie the thread around the Trishul, there's got to be something that you want to give up, right? There has to be something that you want to give up. But it may not be possible for you to do so by yourself. So as we tie the Raksha around the Trishulam, we ask the Devi for her support. Ma, help me to be less angry. I'm trying every day to be tolerant. Please help me to be more tolerant. Whatever divine desires you have, the Mother knows. And you tie your Raksha around the Trishul. We will give all of you a chance to do that. And then what will happen? At the last day, we will untie the strings and you will wear them. It's a very beautiful process, this is the first time we're doing it in the temple. And there is no sponsorship and so for that. Our people always are nice and generous, but the point is, you have to be into it. The cord is usually mixed with a little haldi for the process. Be involved in it, and we'll help you along this way. There's so many things happening in Navratri. There is Shashti Devi Puja. There is Naga Panchami. In the early Navratri, we do Shakambari Devi, the mother dressed with vegetables, and the community take it home. So many beautiful things. Next week, Friday, on the 8th day, on the 7th day rather, we do the Navdurga Puja, where the mother is bathed with 9 scented water, 9 scent of agrabati. Not 9 cent agrabati, 9 scented agrabati is offered to her. 9 types of diya is offered to her. A diya with 1 flame, a diya with 2 flame, a diya with 3 flame, a diya with 4 flame. And all of them have different meaning. 9 types of prasad is offered to her. This year we're offering 9 saris to her. It's beautiful. Why don't we want to be part of this? We have to be. So come on out. I'm going to hype you up to come out and be part of this process. And of course, most importantly, I want you to finish the Navratri with a lot of devotion, a lot of charged up energies to continue the rest of the year. I'd like to ask you one thing though. Please become a sponsor. You can go on our bhawanishankarammandir.com/Navratri, or you can just click the button on the page called Navratri. Become a sponsor, a virtual sponsor, an in-house sponsor. Everything is updated there. Without your involvement, I can sit here and talk, but it wouldn't be as effective. So it's always helpful when you're involved. I hope the Devi will attract you to her presence. And I'm doing as well something very special for the Shashti Devi Puja, where I want all the children of our community to come out on the 6th day. We're going to reinitiate you into a beautiful mantra for the Devi Saraswati. Children are the very foundation of our lineage, the family, the community of our dharma. We have to make sure that their minds are sharp and their intellect has the right foundation. So I will tell you all about this during Navratri, but the colors are posted on our Facebook page for Navratri. Please go Bhavani Shankar Mandir Facebook. You don't need a Facebook account, by the way, to access Bhavani Shankar Mandir Facebook. Is public. Access it. Dress up whatever color she's wearing. If you can, just wear it. It's nice to keep the community cohesive and organized in this way. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you on Friday and every day forward. And very importantly, after the session, we will give you food to take home as well. Bhojanam is prepared for everybody, so you can take home Bhojan. So you don't have to cook and thing that night when you go home, hopefully. Thank you all so much. Bhagwan's blessings this evening. It's nice to see your folks in the temple. It's nice to see Auntie Lalita and Uncle Chati back in the temple. They came early, so they sit as Shrotas this evening. Bhagwan's blessings to you both. And Auntie Lalita, it's nice to see you back. Uncle Beams was not here a lot when you were not here, obviously, but it's good to see you guys back again. Jai Sitaram. We'll now stand for Aarti. Om Yani Kani Chapapani Janmantar Kritani Cha Tani Sarvani Nashyantu Pradakshinam Pade Pade.
Om Jai Shiva Omkara Swami Hare Shiva Omkara Jai Shiva Omkara Swami Hare Shiva Omkara Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva Brahma Vishnu
ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगभिर्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुभवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथम्। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे नारायणाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णु प्रचोदयात्। एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ती प्रचोदयात्। नमो ब्राह्मणदेवाय गोब्राह्मणहिताय च जगत्हिताय कृष्णाय माधवाय नमो नमः। अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियते हरिनिशं मया दासो यामति मां मत्वा क्षम्यस्य परमेश्वरा। पापोऽहं पापकर्माहं पापात्मा पापसम्भवा त्राहि मां पार्वतीनाथ सर्वपापहरो भव। आवाहनं न जानामि त्वर्चनं पूजा चैव न जानामि क्षम्यस्य परमेश्वरा। मंत्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं सुरेश्वर यद्पूजितं मया देव परिपूर्ण तदस्तु मे। यदक्षपथभ्रष्टमात्राहीनं यद् भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देव प्रसीद परमेश्वर। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। मूकं करोतु वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। गणपति महाराज की जय। बोलिए भवानी शंकर महाराज की जय। बोलिए सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। राधावर कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय। लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की जय। वीर बजरंग बली की जय। जगदम्बे मात की जय। लक्ष्मी मात की जय। सरस्वती मैया की जय। सत्यनारायण भगवान की जय। सूर्य भगवान की जय। नव देवियों की जय। गंगा माता की जय। धर्म की जय हो अधर्म का नाश हो प्राणियों में सद्भावना हो विश्व का कल्याण हो। गौ माता की सेवा हो भारत माता की जय हो। सत्य सनातन धर्म की सदा ही जय। जो बोले सो अभय सत्य सनातन धर्म की सदा ही जय। जय जय सीताराम जय जय सीताराम।